You're tuned in with Tiff. Surviving Sin City with Tiffani Neilson every Thursday, 5 to 6. You are live in Las Vegas, and this is Surviving Sin City with Tiffani Neilson. What's up, everybody? We are live in Las Vegas. This is Tiffani Neilson, and I'm here with Lenny Windsor. Lenny, how you doing today?
Splendid. Windsor here. Windsor speaking. I'm in fabulous. Great day.
Yes, it is.
I love your studio.
Thank you.
Yes,
We
nice.
have been spending a lot of time working on this wheel. I thought it was going to be a small project, but a little bit of a time vampire there.
Well, it's an English dartboard.
An English dartboard. Do you guys have pink dartboards in England?
Well, in the gay clubs.
Well, maybe
Not
they
that
do
I've
here
been.
too. You
Not
never
that
know.
I've been to them. I've just been told about them.
And so today we're going to be talking a little bit about Veterans Day. So God bless the USA.
Absolutely.
You know,
Very.
what do you think about the USA?
I love America. Of course, they love me. You see, they.
Of
they
course
say,
they do. How could they not love you?
Exactly. They say I've got an accent. How ridiculous is that?
I think it's lovely.
I do too. I do
Sounds like
too.
my mother, Ninon.
Your mother. Bless you.
Yes,
She's
yes.
my mother too.
She's my mom fill-in since I don't have a mum here. So.
Ninon is wonderful. Ninon is from my hometown in England, a place called Torquay. It's known as the English Riviera. So I know Ninon and her brother, of course. It's a small
My extended
one.
family that I haven't met.
Well, you must come and stay with them.
Yes, of course. That sounds lovely. See Stonehenge?
Stonehenge, of course, we just talked about that.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about, while we're on the American topic, will you tell us the story you told me?
Well, only that there were some tourists at Stonehenge, and you know Stonehenge, of course, it's been there over 2,000 years. And one of the American tourists said to the guide, "It's very nice, but it should have been built closer to the road." It's something really nobody actually said anything about, but you know, there it is.
And they just figured, silly Americans.
Well, I don't know what they thought. We say silly things too, you know, when we're away from England. So there it is, you know, what can you do? And we are looking forward to seeing you, of course. Like you always make me feel welcome here, I know we will make you feel welcome in England. Thank you for inviting me to your show.
Well, thank you for being on my show, Lenny. It's an honor to have you on my show. Are you serious? Lenny from the Benny Hill Show? I mean,
bless your heart.
come on. I used to love that show. My grandpa used to watch it all the time. He loved it.
Well, I was a writer for Benny on a one-to-one basis for him, not for the TV company. The TV company were tough, but I didn't work for them. I worked for Benny. He was my friend for 7.5 years. I am very lucky. But I'm doing shows in Las Vegas, so if you can, you know, if you get around, I'll be next.
You have a show that's coming up, right? Next Thursday?
Yeah, can I mention it?
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks. Next week is I'm doing Dennis Bono's show at the West Point. Is it West Point? Yes. South Point.
South Point.
South Point. I know, I nearly got it right.
I'll get to the point. No, I'm just
Oh, I'm
kidding.
sorry. You're right. South Point. I'm doing a lunchtime show there. It will be my 5th show with Dennis Bono, and that evening I'll be down at the downtown Grand with Paul Scully, and I'll be headlining down there. And I've got some corporate gigs to do, and I'll be headlining other venues in the area, and doing lots of radio and television and stuff. Really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Paul from the Las Vegas Fashion Design Council and their events. He's done some comedy and, you know, I've
He's a
talked to him
good
on the
man.
red carpet a little bit with Ninon.
Sure, he's a good man. I was with Paul 10 years ago. We've been friends of 10 years. Yeah, it's good. And we all meet in Las Vegas. Good.
Yes, and so what's your favorite thing about Vegas, Lenny? You come here all the time. I see these hot pictures of you. God, I'm hot.
In my Facebook, I put every night I put a picture with me and a hot girl, and I say the Windsor fan. The Windsor fan club or something.
Yes.
And then I put it at the end, you know, ... God, I'm hot.
I love it.
And it's not really serious. I'm not really hot. But I put it in there because it makes it more
Oh, whatever.
ridiculous.
You're the hottest.
I know
Stop
that.
it.
I know. You're quite right. She's already asked me, yeah, are you married, Lenny? And yes, I am. I'm sorry, I've got to tell you that.
Oh, I don't see a ring. It's on the wrong finger.
I know, no, I don't do that. Otherwise, I can't play around, can I? No, I'm married. I'm married. I've got 3 boys, 3 sons.
Oh, you do?
And 7 grandchildren, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are they all in England then? Or?
They're all in England, and they all live about 8 minutes from where I live. So, and we've got businesses, of course, in England, and so I come here about 6 months of the year, broken up, 2 months at a time, and then I spend the whole summer in England to be with one of my businesses. But you asked me about America. I love the people. I really love the people, and I don't know if I love Las Vegas in the way I should do, because I'm not a gambler, you see.
Have you not read the Sin City Survival Guide?
Oh no, you've not let me have one yet.
Well, you need to check this book out because there's lots to do besides just gamble.
Yes, there is. You're right.
There's plenty to do.
You're right.
There's a lot to do here.
No, I know that. But I mean, if you...
Have you not been to any of the nightclubs? I mean...
Oh, yes, I have been to some of the
No,
nightclubs.
but like there's shows. There are definitely like beautiful outdoor areas like Red Rock, Mount Charleston.
Been all
really
that,
nice.
done it. Yes, great. No, that's a part of my life. After moving here, after living here for a while, then you start seeing the niceties of it.
Now, I know you are a big fan of art, correct? So...
Yes, I am.
Have you been to First Friday?
First Friday?
Mm-hmm.
No, tell me about that.
Okay, well, every First Friday there's a big event, and it's downtown, and they kind of close off the street. It's over near the Charleston area, and you can walk around, and they've got art museums, like art galleries, and just little peddlers of all kinds of different little arts and crafts and stuff like that, and you can... I don't know, you can take your kids out, you can take one of your hot ladies out, whatever you want to do.
Wow.
There are rides,
I mean,
DJs.
There is, if there's any hot ladies...
I believe there are 4 stages, and my one friend, they run one of the stages, Epic Crew. Shout out to Epic Crew. And so they run one of the stages there, and they've got like rides and just food, and it's really nice. They do it from
good.
5 o'clock until about midnight.
Okay. If anybody's going to England and they're going to London, try and make the Soames Museum. It is the biggest secret in London. It's called Soames Museum. It is totally amazing. It's got the largest private collection of Turner in the world. So I mean, there's a big wall in this room, and then if you ask the guide if you could, and he'll pull the wall away, and there'll be 4 Turners, and he'll pull the wall away again, and there'll be another 3 Turners. They're 10 million each, and pounds, and they are amazing. Amazing.
And what is it exactly?
It's a museum.
A museum, but what is it that they showcase in the museum?
Turner. Turner's a great painter. He's an amazing painter. He paints seascapes like you could touch the water. He is wonderful. I've got to tell you, when I first met you, I saw in you something extremely special. I am a great finder of talent. And I didn't find you, but I knew you had this magnificent talent. And in the short time I've known you, you've progressed in such a great way. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, this lady you have to look for, because she's going to move in bigger circles.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I am a distinguished woman now.
You are?
Nevada. Yeah, they announced me. I brought Nina on to the luncheon.
No!
Yeah, distinguished woman of Nevada. I nominated her for next year.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah.
But I believe that. I believe it. And you're so young. She's only 20. Well, she looks 20.
21.
Sorry.
Hello.
21 and hello. Whatever that means.
Well, we are going to cut for a quick break, but we will be back in a second with our next guest. And Lenny, why don't you stick around for a second and you can check out some of this art with me. What do you say?
I'd love to, yeah.
All right, so we'll be back in just a few more minutes with more with Surviving Sin City. And we're back with Surviving Sin City. And I'm here with Lenny Windsor again.
Hello, folks.
The lovely and fabulous, and also the lovely and fabulous George.
How are you?
What's going on, George? So today you have some art, is that right?
Yes, I'd like to present a Picasso lithograph that I acquired quite some time ago from a very close friend of mine. His father died in Cuba. It left him quite a little collection of these.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
Which it was printed in 1962 in Paris by Atelier Merlot.
It says Ministère de Travail,
By the
Publics
French.
et des Transports.
Yeah, it was printed by the French government for the French government, and then
It looks pretty legit, people. Pretty
It's
legit.
in very
No.
good condition, isn't it?
excellent condition.
Yeah.
What would you say, Lenny?
It's-
You're an art.
I like art.
Expert?
I'm not an expert.
No?
I'm just English, and we know everything.
Oh, okay.
But it's lovely. Of course it is.
Yeah, it's the Côte d'Azur, which is in the French Riviera,
And I've been there, of course.
and Christie's, which is the biggest art dealer in the internationally, the largest one in the world, sold maybe a few months ago for about 1,400, and
Wow.
my asking price is just 600. I'm just looking for a little bit less than half what it's worth.
Wow.
So if you're interested in this lovely piece of art, you can contact us at Surviving Sin City Facebook or on our website. And,
That would go great in someone's home.
right?
My
Yeah.
goodness, that's
That's
such
beautiful.
a lovely piece.
I could see it with the whole, desert scape. You got the pools in Vegas.
Yeah.
Somebody could have it right in their living room and
Sure,
look right out.
but
to
what
their
about
room.
the conversation piece?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great conversation piece.
It's beautiful.
And nobody else has got one.
And especially since it came from George. I mean, he's a celebrity. He's in the show intro,
Yeah, it's a limited edition, and all the
Wonderful.
information is printed right on the actual page itself. And if you want, you can get it appraised. And that's it.
I
That's
love
terrific,
it.
yeah.
It's beautiful. So I said, bring the art on the show. We love art.
So-
And I've been an artist. I don't know if you guys knew that. I took a lot of art classes.
Did you?
A ton.
What have you done? I want to know.
I did paint a few signs that are still able to be seen around Cambridge, Ohio. The Degenhart Glass Museum. It's like a huge museum sign that I did. And I've also done a t-shirt line and a sweatshirt line and some other art.
She's so
I've
so
seen a lot.
talented.
And
Yeah,
this
I've
beautiful
seen a
wheel.
lot of
Look at the
art.
wheel.
Oh, did you do this?
Glenn and I did a great job with the wheel. Yes.
You're so talented. She's so talented, this lady.
Yeah, imaginative.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
You gotta use your imagination.
Yeah. Well, I suppose if you've got time and you're young enough like you, what are you, 21?
Of course,
Thank
21
you.
again.
Thank
Next
you.
year, yay, 21 again. And so that's just kind of how things run in Vegas. And so, you two do have a similar habit, or should I say, interest, hobby. I don't. You guys
Not
are both
look.
at a lot
Not
of
look.
sapphire parties.
The what? What was that?
You guys are both at a lot of sapphire parties. George is also a very big fan of the gentlemen's clubs here locally. And so I thought that you guys would be a funny guest to put on together because Lenny always has these hilarious photos where, he's got these really hot girls in the photo with him and it's, God, I'm hot. But it's cute and
It's true.
it is true,
Thank you.
of course.
I love sapphires. I've never been to a men's club in my life, but I like sapphires. I really do. To do my show, I mean, when I'm there, I do my show at Sapphires. I love Sapphires. It's not the same show as I would do at
I've always been
Palace.
more of a cheetahs guy. And rhino.
I don't know. I don't.
Spearmint rhino.
Oh, you'll have to take him to the Rhino.
Yeah, you got. If you like sapphires, you'll. Like rhino.
Yeah, but I like Sapphires for the work for my show.
Right?
No, real. I've
Yeah.
never been to a men's club, and what I've done there, of course, I've done a deal with this company because I own a big wedding company.
You had me fooled from your photos on Facebook. It looks like you're a regular. This women love you.
Of course they love me because
It's a low old guy.
I'm a lookalike.
Yes.
I'm a lookalike. Yeah, people feel sorry for me.
Did you know he was a writer for the Benny Hill show?
No, I didn't know that.
I wrote for Benny Hill,
I
yes,
used to watch
for
that
7.5 years.
when I was little.
Yeah, I know, everybody says that. It makes me feel so
The
damn
Benny Hill
old.
show. Nice.
So, George, do you have anything coming up you want to mention besides this beautiful piece of art?
I haven't been working on too much lately. I've been watching a lot of movies, trying to stay out of trouble.
Well, that's good, George. You could use break every now and then.
Yeah, a small break.
I know my birthday party kind of did us all in, huh?
Yeah, I'm still recuperating from
George clocked in for a good 60 hours for my birthday celebration. He came over the night before and said, "I'm here, let's get started," and it lasted days.
I would like to mention that I wasn't invited.
Of course you were, but you were in England. I invited you on
That has got
Facebook.
nothing to do with it.
Well, you'll have to come to my Thanksgiving party to make up for it.
When is that?
On Thanksgiving.
I see. And what happens? Tell us all about your...
Well, actually, I find that, people in Las Vegas tend to not celebrate with the traditional, Easter dinners, Thanksgiving dinners like I do in Ohio. So I'm going to bust out the whole nine with, cranberries, gravy, mashed potatoes, like stuffing, the whole bit.
Can I come to that?
Absolutely. We're going to have DJs, music, nice people.
And where will this be at?
Ninon maybe will be running the red carpet in front of my house. In front of my house.
You mean Ninon and I will be running your red carpet?
Yes.
Because I love Ninon, yes. My mother. So, don't tell her. Oh my God, she'll be so upset. She'll hit me. So I mean, I'm more like her husband, really.
She's only 22,
I know she. I love her. I love that lady so much, and of course she's English. You mentioned earlier on, can I mention the fact that it's a military week this week?
Yes, it is Veterans Day, and so I would also like to say thank you to my brother who has served for our country, and my grandfather has also served. And you have a very beautiful story about your father.
Well, very quickly, because I know you're running on time.
Oh, no, go right ahead.
My dad fell in love with a lady during the war, and she was from Maltese, and he wanted her to come to England, so he put her on a ship, and they got married out there, and she came to England. Mum was very smart. She spoke 6 languages, and she got a job as a police interpreter. But then my father had to come back after as the war was happening, and my dad was on a boat, a big boat, troop carrier, and it was hit by a German torpedo boat, and most of them died, hundreds, and there was only 13 survivors, and my father was one of them. And my father was 4 days in an open boat before they found him. And
that's like shipwrecked, but not shipwrecked, just
no,
floating.
Nothing, no food, no nothing. Yeah, crazy. When they did find him, the ironic part about it is God, whoever is up there, looked down and said to my dad, I'm going to give you, you're not dying here, I'm going to give you 42 years to go back home and have a family, 3 sons, and be married for 42 years.
And then the same day.
And the very same day, 42 years later, my father passed away. And I think that's such a great story.
Phenomenal.
It is.
It is.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bore you with that.
No, it's a beautiful story, it really
But
is.
everyone's got a story.
And we're actually going to hear about another story. At the end of this episode, we're going to hear from our tech director, Justin Inabinett, and he's going to tell us a frightening fact.
Wow.
Frightening fact. Bum, 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 bum.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
So stay tuned. We're going to cut to a break, but we'll be back in just a few minutes with more from Surviving Sin City.
Bye.
Can't wait.
All right, welcome back to Surviving Sin City. We're live in Las Vegas. We've got Lenny Windsor here. What's
Hello.
up, Lenny? Hello.
Hello.
And we also have Jacob from Nusalt Lasers.
How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. It was so nice to meet you this weekend. I know we've had Michael Scaler on the show a few times in the past, and he just threw an amazing event this past weekend. It was the 0 Point Festival. I don't know.
Desert party. Yeah.
Desert party. It was very cool. What did you think?
It was cool.
Was that your first time going to it,
Yeah,
or?
the first time I just wanted to go check it out.
But you brought the lasers,
I
right?
brought a laser so I could demonstrate what it
Cool.
can do.
Well, tell me about that. Well, I know not what you're talking about.
Okay, so when I'll tell you about how I arrived, because I arrived a little bit late because I had a lot going on that afternoon, and I didn't realize all of the spiritual and enlightening transformation. When he said transformational, I didn't realize there was going to be like workshops and classes during the day where his mother, who's just absolutely amazing, was giving some demonstrations and stuff on how to use healing power and, just to, find your chi, I guess. And it was really cool. But when we were riding out there, it's 0 Point because you can't have cell phones. There's no cell phone service. So when it's like you have these directions and it's like, make a right at the 3rd molehill. You're like, what? And they're like, oh, we missed it. We gotta turn around. But yeah, you have to drive over it really fast. So it's like kind of like, I don't know, it's a little crazy. But then when you get out there, it's like a lot of people. And there was like a tent, all these awesome lasers everywhere, like shooting all over the hills in the middle of the desert. And I was like,
Wonderful.
and we decided, it was Justin's idea to get a van instead of an RV and to treat the van like an RV for the day. It's a good idea.
Who was this?
Justin. It was Justin's idea on
Good
that
idea.
one. Yeah, he's a Marine.
Oh,
so-
of course.
God bless USA. So,
Did you do that setup, or was
Yeah.
a part of it?
I just brought it up so I could show them what it can do. Actually, I just showed up.
You're so talented.
just-
Isn't it
just
great,
showed
this talent that you get on the show?
absolutely. It's very
It really
diverse,
is.
too.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I love to do, and there's different ways of using nature to demonstrate the lasers, and you really get in touch with the universe with those lasers. Cause
Wonderful.
it definitely shoots up, really far.
So tell everyone about the power of these lasers, because I mean I can sit here and say there are some great lasers, and everybody
yeah.
that knows my parties are like she loves lasers.
Well, yeah,
so.
there's different power type of lasers, but we build our own. We get the best parts of what's out there when we put them together, and they're very powerful. They can burn through walls. They can burn your clothes. You can burn a cigarette, turn it on with it. I mean, you can do it. I mean, there's.
Isn't that a bit dangerous?
but-
Maybe
yeah,
It
it's
seems like
dangerous.
burn
Extremely
your face
dangerous.
off, like
Extremely
crazy.
dangerous. But I mean, we take precautions and make sure everything's done correctly, and we don't let anybody play with them. We're certified and.
You can light your cigarette, but please,
Yeah.
don't play with them. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly, but I mean.
That's cool though. No, I mean it's a very interesting setup, and I was standing there, and everybody else is dancing and everything, and then I was overheard their conversation. Yes, as eavesdropping. They're not really, but they were talking loud enough I could hear them, and they were talking about 3D editing and these lasers, and I was like, wait, I know what you guys are talking about. I was like, I know this stuff too. I take 3D
So,
3D
When you
rendering
were
class.
there, was it a show?
Well,
Like-
what I did, I just
An
I went up-
experience.
yeah, it is an experience. It is.
They had a temple that they built. Like one
Right.
people had built a temple on the other part of it, where it was like of spiritual nature, and they were doing this
Right.
chant, this Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It was like, and it
middle
really
of
does
that,
like leave you with a little
Sure.
bit of the mantras leave you with a little bit of a
Sure.
zing, like.
What I was going to
positive.
say is because I've been to, all over the world in my job on cruise ships and stuff, and not so long ago I was in Egypt at the Sphinx and the pyramids, and they
Oh,
have
I'm
this
so
laser.
jealous.
They have
That
this
sounds
laser light,
awesome.
the one in the James Bond movie, and it's amazing. And I imagine that's a little piece of that
Yeah,
here.
it's the same
Yeah,
type of
wonderful.
laser.
It's
James
great.
Bond was there. I didn't even see him. No,
Yeah,
just
well,
kidding.
it was me. I'm pretty hot.
Of course you are.
Of course I am.
And so, what else are you doing with? Are the lasers for sale, or do you do custom builds?
Yeah,
or-
they're definitely for sale. They're also for rent. We have to work out a deal, depending on the.
My Thanksgiving Day party.
There you go.
All
so
right,
sit
this
down
thing's
and
gonna be really good.
hash out the details. Definitely want to make it memorable, so that's what we specialize in. We bring the wow factor to every event, and that's what we're there for.
Nice. I know I brought the wow factor to my neighborhood at my last event for my birthday, and I had like the red carpet with neon out front, and then my neighbors came over and they said, "What is this that you have set up here?" And I was like, "Well, it's my birthday party. You guys want to come in?" And they're like, "Oh, really? Are you sure? We saw it from the hill, and we're walking our dogs. So let me go get my husband, and I'll be back." So they came in, and now we're going to be filming for them for the UMC blood drive for the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and the Clark County Fire Department.
Wow, very good.
So
You
my
know,
neighbors
funny-
are okay with it.
In the 2.5 years I've been here, I mentioned to my dear friend Murray Sorshak, who, by the way, has just signed a great contract with Planet Hollywood. He's been two and a half years at the Tropicana, and he's going to Planet Hollywood. He is my dearest friend of 22 years. I did say to him recently, I would like to do a show for the police and fire department.
Well, maybe you can help out with us December 2nd.
If there's a facility, a theatre, a room,
And we're doing red carpet 7 to 7
right?
to help them out.
When?
December 2nd.
December 2nd.
So if you have blood, give it away to the UMC blood
Well,
drive.
could you remind me, because I will
Absolutely.
be here. But apart
I'll remind you at my Thanksgiving party.
Yeah, well, I'll remember. No, on Thanksgiving we don't have that at home.
No?
No.
Well, then you'll like it. You can dress as a pilgrim or an Indian, and it's
Well,
gonna.
what about
I do
dressing
costumes
normally?
for everything. You can do that too, but
okay.
like a little headpiece, like a feather too. I'll bring one for you.
I didn't realise you were that kinky. How wonderful.
I'll wait till you meet my friends. Oh, no, I was kidding.
Yeah, I have seen them on your birthday. I've seen your pictures of your birthday party. Amazing. They're hot.
There's a lot more footage coming, so you'll love it.
With can you get to I've been invited to a couple on that day. Would that be suitable or not?
Yes, you can go to as many as you want. I actually, the most Thanksgivings I've ever gone to in one day in Las Vegas was I went to 6 Thanksgiving dinners because everybody considers me family, so I just kept showing up to everyone's Thanksgiving.
Well, they don't consider me as family, they consider me as a scrounger.
Well, I'm inviting you as family.
Oh, bless your heart. The others are inviting me as a scrounger.
Yes, and Enon will be there, our extended family. So, anyway, well, this episode is coming to our next segment. So we are going to bring on our next guest, Angie Alacatar, and see what's going on with feeding the homeless. So,
but I have to go. I'm
Lenny,
sorry.
you're going to be leaving us. It's a shame, but I'm hoping that you'll be back on the show again soon.
Thank you so much, but now you realise how hot I am.
Yes, God, you're hot.
Bye, everybody. Thanks.
All right, we'll be back in just a minute with more Surviving Sin City. All right, what's up, everybody? We're back with Surviving Sin City, and I've got my next guest, Angie Alacatar. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Did I say your last name right?
Alacatar.
Man, I've known you for years.
Add in an extra letter.
I always do that. I think I always spell it
You
probably
always do
wrong.
an extra like I or an A or an E.
Well, yeah, I used to do that to Ivy's name too. Finally, after enough plane tickets, I finally got it down. I mean, it's like, geez.
Nice, yeah.
Well, we'll have to figure that out. You know, we'll have to go on the next trip. I don't know. Where are we going? So Angie, today we're going to talk about the homeless and the food that you're
Serving the
guys are
homeless,
serving.
yeah.
Okay.
It's an organization of volunteers that get together every Monday at 7 p.m. on G. and McWilliams. It's just a group. It's
Where is it located?
G. and McWilliams.
At G and
downtown.
McWilliams downtown.
Every Monday at 7 p.m. And people just bring whatever they can to help donate their time, clothing, food, toiletries, anything that they can do and provide.
Now, how much of a need is it for people to go and donate?
It's huge. It's
well,
really huge.
How many people roughly are in need of help?
Okay, so there's basically one volunteer for every 20 to 30 people. They get around 200 to 300 homeless that come and gather looking for help in any way, and they're getting 20 to 30 volunteers on average,
Wow.
which isn't nearly enough,
And so 20 to 30 volunteers. And so are you all working together, or is it kind of like you guys get on a schedule, or get already fitted, or?
There's no organizations, there's no businesses or anything. It's just people that are coming to volunteer and just to help. Luckily today I was introduced to someone who introduced me to someone who can start providing produce, fruit and veggies on a weekly basis every Sunday, and we do it every Monday where they're throwing away all
Isn't that
food.
perfect? I told
It's
you, I
so
said you have to
perfect.
talk to them.
Yeah. It's absolutely perfect. It's really great.
I might not have the immediate produce, but I know where we could find something to provide for them.
Yeah, before the show even started, I was able to find a volunteer for bags of thrift store clothing, and then that weekly connect for the produce, and so it's amazing. And I've already gotten at least half a dozen new volunteers, so I'm hoping to just generate more awareness.
Well,
so
especially
that-
with Thanksgiving, maybe people can make some extra time to go and give back to their community.
Yeah, and it's starting to get really, really cold out here. So, mittens, scarves, sweaters, shoes, extra socks, anything.
Well, I know when Danielle was living with me, we miss you, Danielle.
Oh, hi, Danielle.
But I went to Thanksgiving at her sister's house, and her sister's really big on taking, the leftovers and bagging it up into individual bags and then going and delivering it to the homeless. So we were driving around for a while, and it must have been cold that night because they were really hard to find, but we've definitely gone and done efforts to do something for the community like that. But now that there's an easy way to do it.
There's so many people that want to help.
And
They just
so
don't
this
know
is
how.
a way that you can. So it's going to be every Monday at 7.
Yeah, every Monday on G. McWilliams at 7 p.m. Everyone gets together, and because it's been going on, this gentleman started it. There was a priest that started it 14 years ago, and he used to do it outside of a church. So they know that you're going to be there. They know that somebody's going to be there to help out. So it's a where they will collect. People who are in need are going to gather there because it's something that is being done every week. You know, rain, shine, or sleet.
And so what if maybe somebody watches this that needs help? Is there any kind of circumstances that they have to, or requirements they have to meet in order to receive help?
If you show up, if you need help, you know, there are going to be people there that are going to be providing assistance in any way that they can.
Now, I heard an interesting thing the other day that you can call *3. Have you heard about this?
No, I haven't.
I heard it's 311.
Okay.
Have you heard of 311 and 211? Apparently these things exist, 311 and 211. You can call 311 and get assistance with your rent.
Oh, really?
And that they help you find a place to live.
Oh,
if you don't have a place to live,
yeah, I did
you
not
can call
know
311. And you can call 211 if you need help with just life, I think.
That's amazing.
I had no idea. So there's other things besides the 911. I had no idea.
Yeah.
411 I've heard of, right? Information. I can handle that one, but
Yeah.
I had no idea about the 211 or the 311.
Well, I'm really excited about this, and I'm hoping that as we get more volunteers to get together and if people start showing up every single week, we're gonna get to learn, you know, things about the people that need this assistance, so that you could utilize being more specific towards other people's needs. You know?
And maybe what kind of age range can people bring items for? Is it just for adults, or is it stuff for kids
I believe
too,
that they bring anything and everything that they can, and like people utilize whatever they need.
Well, you know me, what about the pets? What about the pets, Angie? Pet blaster here, you know. What about the pets? Can you bring stuff for the pets?
There are a lot of homeless people out here who do have animals, you know, so bringing
I always say
dog
pets
food.
for the poor. Poor,
Yeah.
like, and you know, whether it's someone especially when you're in dire times, a pet can really make the difference between your sanity and the will to make your life better and
You know, that's a really amazing idea.
The
I know someone
downtime.
who volunteers their time at these kill shelters. It'd be really great to see if we can conglomerate, like bringing the dogs out and introducing them to people that, you know, just to get that little affection.
Yeah.
Where, you know, we can team up people and animals. That was a really great
Well, I
idea.
know with like Columbine and everything, when that happened, they brought in all those animals to kind of like comfort the students.
Yeah.
So
and what a great comfort to the animals as well.
I mean, especially if that animal is going to be, you know, put down, I'm sure that it would love a little bit of attention before that
Exactly.
would happen. So,
Exactly.
well, there you have it. Every Monday at 7:00 on G
and
and
McWilliams.
McWilliams downtown. So, Angie, thank you for being a guest on
Thank
my
you so
show
much for having me.
today.
I really appreciate it.
And maybe you can be a guest on the end of the segment when we talk about that frightening fact.
Oh, I like it.
And we'll be back in just a few more minutes with more from Surviving Sin City.
Bye.
And we're back with more Surviving Sin City, and we've got Angie still with us, and we also have Rick Lofton, my business partner. And Rick, you've got all kinds of exciting things going on. You
Yes.
were helping out at the town meeting, or the city meeting, but
It was a town hall.
A town hall.
For pet
I knew it was
rights.
rather.
And then I've been working on the PLG social for about 5-6 months now. We just launched that. We literally just put the site live literally about 2 hours ago. But it's a
Alright.
political social network. It's a free social network for people to get political information, sign verified petitions, find information about their politicians running, and I have a voting directory so people can find out where their voting places are, get registered to vote. And the one thing the PLG Social, what I'm trying to do with the PLG Social is to get people involved in politics so they know what's on the ballot, why they should come out and vote, and which candidate is fighting for those issues.
Oh, I love that.
And you know, when it comes to voting, you know, when it comes to democracy, voting's the foundation of our, you know, democracy. And when
Maybe a lot of people don't know where to go to
Exactly.
vote, so you can get that information from that site.
And a lot of it is misinformation, and it's not out there easily for a reason. So, you know, with voting, that's our one equalizer we have. It doesn't matter if you're poor, rich, white, black, male, female, whatever, every vote is the same. And so when you have certain parties spending money to, you know, make sure people can't vote and making sure that people don't know what's on the ballot and etc., it's for a reason, because there's real power behind that vote. You change the course of the country, you change what's being talked about, voted on, and where our funds are, where our tax dollars are going. So
let's give an example of like one of the offices, like if on a standard ballot that's not, say, the November election that everyone's familiar with, and it's just a random month, what are some of the topics that are on those that might make a difference in their life?
And see, I'm glad you asked that. For midterms, that's probably when most people don't understand how our government works, and they show up when there's a vote for the president, but for midterm elections, like the election that just passed, only a third of voters vote. But during midterm elections, that's when we're, putting representatives into the House, into the Senate, and
those are the people that are putting laws into action.
Exactly.
For us, so it really makes a big difference.
And so for the Democratic Party right now, for funding, I reached out to all of the CPACs, the Democratic CPACs, and it's like, yo, you guys are spending $20 million to get out the vote. Give me a few 100,000 and I'll get you 300,000 new voters. So for a lot of it, for Democrats, when people vote, they win. When Republicans vote, they win when people don't turn out to vote. And so when it comes to when winning is just simply a matter of getting people out to vote, I think the strongest thing you can do is make sure people know what they're voting for. If people don't know what they're voting for, if there's not an issue that affects that voter, they're not going to turn out to the polls. Just this last election, there was all of these laws that were passed to make it harder for people to vote. The voting rights law, what happened a while ago is that in certain states like Texas, they made it so that if you're a woman, we know Wendy Davis is running, we don't want female voters to vote for her, so we're going to pass a law that if you're a woman and you're married and your last name is changed, your vote doesn't count. That just happened in Texas. That just happened in Texas. In Ferguson, you go all over the country, and people that, there's certain powers that be that would like to suppress certain voices, and your voice is only heard if you vote. And that's my whole focal point with the PLG Social, but there's...
And that if you're going to place your voice or your vote into one of these elections, you should at least know what you're voting for and who you're voting for and what they represent, right?
Exactly. And
I'm really excited to see the breakdown on your site, because a lot of times you just get confused. You're being told to vote yes or no, and you're only getting a highlight of what the information actually is for what you're voting on.
And more importantly, the narrative. When you look at the news, whether it's Fox or MSNBC, that narrative for politics is set by about 4 or 5 people in the country. If you live in Nebraska, New York, Nevada, all your issues are different. And one thing that the PLG Social is going to do is allow candidates I'm going to do polls for state to state and find out what issues are important to those voters, and then give the politicians running an opportunity to answer those questions.
Well, I know in Ohio, there's been a topic that's been all over my Facebook that I promised I would bring to light on the show today. And it's the math problems that are in the schools. I mean, they're taking God out of the schools. They don't do the Pledge of Allegiance anymore in school.
It's crazy.
I mean, really? And no art, no music? I mean, I don't even... Are they going to be chained to their desks next? I mean, it's ridiculous.
And education is such a big issue. When it comes to STEM, I'm all about science, technology. When it comes to education, how our school districts are set up and what those kids are learning, that's the future of this country.
Mm-hmm. So let me give you an example. The math problem that was the topic of Facebook yesterday was 32 minus 12 equals 20, and then the homework below it was 8 plus 3 equals 15 minus 4 equals this, and it was 6 or 7 different problems and it's the weirdest looking math I've ever seen. And then the person was responding back with it was over 100 comments. It was just back to back to back of everybody commenting on, well, I don't even understand the homework. And then they're well, the teacher made the parent write a response to the student saying what they did wrong on their homework. So now they're punishing the parents, and so the parent wrote back, well, dear son, I don't know why you would have to do this kind of math anyway. I think that you should figure out the problem. 425 minus 111 equals da 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 da, and that's how you do math simply. This is absolutely ridiculous. I've got a engineering degree, and it doesn't make sense. So I mean, I think that as far as being an effective country and effective effective community, everything, we have to have the youth understand the easy and the simple way to make things work.
Because and what's actually valued, proper nutrition, kinesthetics, being able to move your body properly,
And what you brought up was simplicity. And the one thing I wanted to was, even with funding, there's billions of dollars that are done to fund our politics, that are done when people don't know. You give $20, $50 to someone, you don't know how they're spending that money, you don't know where it's used. You have a lot of Republicans that have these dark CPACs where you have one billionaire that's donating tons of money to it, and then you go, oh, this is a grassroots movement. And really, it's one person sending a bunch of money. Well, simplification, the good thing that I'm going to do with our crowdfunding platform, which is built enough today, we went through a lot of went a lot through the stuff to get it built and working correctly. With PLG Social's crowdfunding, people will be able to donate money to a candidate, to an organization, and be able to track how their money is being spent.
Oh, that's awesome.
And to give transparency to it. So when someone, a politician or organization wants to raise money through the PLG Social,
Gina Grayson should be proud of you. And once again, congratulations, Gina Grayson, on 3 years. She did the Felony Animal Cruelty Act for Nevada.
Oh, wow.
when someone wants to make a donation, PLG Social will give that candidate or organization a debit card, and we will track with them when they spend the money. We'll be able to see it, so that way people aren't confused. It'll encourage people to donate to that candidate or person when they know how it's spent.
And so, Rick, that website is PLG Social, right?
PLGsocial.com.
So you can also check out our other website, petblaster.com, where you can connect with your pet, your vet, and anyone that loves animals. So there you have it. And we'll be back with our last guest here in just a minute with more from Surviving Sin City. And we're back, live in Las Vegas with Surviving Sin City. I'm just going to keep Angie on the show for the last little part of this. You know, she's doing a great job, so we'll just let her hang out. So we've got Jesse Kung Pao. Jesse, what's going on?
Hello.
Kung Pao.
I showed up late, but I'm here.
That's okay, because we started the show a little bit behind schedule, so it's not a problem.
Yeah.
And Les Paul, you were supposed to be on the show. We were going to wish you a happy birthday, and then you didn't.
Yeah, he couldn't make it. Les Paul and Raven both can make it, so I'm here representing for them.
All right. So what do you guys have going on?
Well, we have a Glow in the Dark coming up. That's going to be at Delphi, November 29th.
And that's the same place as Zero Point, right?
yeah.
I saw that. I was like, all right, that's fun.
We're bringing out like the Dancetronaut stage out there for
Oh,
our main
nice.
stage. We have another stage from DJ Life, which is going to be another lit up like spaceship looking stage.
Let's explain to them what that stage is. So the Danceronauts, I saw them at EDC. Wow. I was dancing all over the spaceship. I was like, oh yeah,
it's
Life
like
is beautiful
80
as well.
Yeah, Life's beautiful too. It's like 80,000 watts of sound. So
And so it's a bus or
A
like a
giant
semi
spaceship.
almost, right? When it's on, because it's packed up, because I was, Teresa was going to get dropped off in the spaceship by my house. She's like, can the spaceship drop me off? I'm like, oh my gosh.
yeah, it's a mobile stage. So pretty much it's on a trailer and they just build on it and kind of like Tetris, and it comes out being this like space center type.
So this giant spaceship stage is going to be out in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nothing, no cell phone signals. It's really cool. With some Nusalt Lasers.
Middle of nowhere. I mean, this time, usually they're in a city where, there's sound ordinance and they can only turn up so loud. But,
Turn down for what?
Exactly. With Delphi, I mean, there's really nobody to stop us from being as loud as we want, so...
It's really cool, and it's just it is a very spiritual place up there.
It is. It's really, I don't know, we're kind of just privileged to be able to throw events out there. I've been out there 4 or 5 times already, and every time I go out there, it really, truly is an experience.
Yeah.
So, it's very spiritual. I mean, we always have the right people that go out there, so it's like we all bond, and it's amazing. And yeah, this time we're the ones hosting the event, so we're bringing a lot of people from California. Like, we have over 30 DJs. Wow. More than half of them is literally from, Northern California, Southern California, Central Valley, even Colorado. So, and it really, I'm bringing, a lot of my record label mates to come out to represent our record label out here in Vegas. So
nice. That's very cool.
Yep. The Soul Punchers will be coming out, and then
the Soul Punchers.
Soul Punchers.
That'll get you.
They're a good little duo. I mean, they're the ones that actually taught me how to produce. So I really appreciate them.
There'll be a bunch of people there pop locking, and they'll be like, oh, they're just punching my soul.
Right. So it should be different. I mean, we should get a lot of the Vegas crowd that we usually get out there at Zero Point and all the other events out there at Delphi. But this time, with half of California coming out, there should be new faces. So it should be a different kind of event.
And Delphi in ancient Greece, it was a performance and spiritual place too. I was doing some research on that too. And it was
It's beautiful. It's amazing. They do yoga and everything, meditation, chants.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was very enlightening.
Yeah.
And they were singing Hawaiian tunes, and it was very beautiful.
Yeah.
So, Very cool experience. And what time is your event going to start on that day? And what day is the party?
It's November 29th, so it's the weekend after Thanksgiving. So
eat your turkey, get your rest, and then Saturday pack it up and head to the desert.
Exactly.
Right.
You can like dance off some turkey weight. So that makes sense.
You have a whole day to sleep and prepare for it, so there you go.
So yeah, the event's gonna be like 20 hours. We're encouraging everyone to bring things that glow. That's why it's called Glow in the Dark.
But leave no trace.
Of course, definitely leave no trace because I have to actually be there to clean it up. So
Right?
I really don't want to do all that.
No, and they seemed very respectful when I was out there this past weekend. Everyone was
very
cleaning
good.
up after themselves. I mean, there was
Everyone's
not
so good.
anything around the grounds, and that's more than you can say about the streets in Las Vegas. I mean, people are so quick to just throw it down their garbage, but if they put as much time and consideration into as what we did at the party, it would be a more beautiful city streets.
Yep.
So besides Glow in the Dark, what else do you have coming up? Anything else exciting on the calendar?
The last time I was here, I was actually competing for the Artisan Resident DJ slot.
Did you win?
I did win.
Amazing.
I'm actually winning the Resident DJs for Artisan now.
All right.
And I still have my events at the Phoenix Lounge.
I've been there.
Yeah. We've had Vixen there before,
Uh-huh.
and we actually have that this Saturday. So that's our monthly. And like with the Artisan, I'm randomly in and out of there now, but I am part of the family now. So
Congratulations.
dream come
That's
true. Like,
awesome.
it was like I don't know. I just tried my best and I got it. It was crazy.
Well, you know, it's going to be what, like Life or SLS and SLS or Hakkasan next. You never know, right?
That's the goal.
I can see you DJing at Hakkasan.
Yeah.
What do you think? Maybe I'll make a few calls for you. We'll see what we can work out.
Try to hit other parts of the world, like
Ibiza?
Ibiza eventually,
sick.
maybe China.
Well,
I think I fit in over
we've
there.
got connections there too, so I'm sure we can
Sure.
make something happen.
Let's go.
And so Angie's doing her food drives on Mondays. Maybe you guys could come DJ for that. That would be kind of cool.
Oh, how amazing would that be? Yeah.
She does it's serving the homeless.
Serving the homeless, yeah, every Monday at 7 p.m. Like, that's what I really want to get, like, people from our community together, because we're going to be able to, you know, do what we need to do and take it over the top. And then some, you know, with all of the go-getters that we know.
Jesse's like, I volunteered for your show, Tiff, not for, DJing all these other things.
I actually don't mind.
for the
I'm open
community.
to anything. Like I actually just I got booked to do a store opening in downtown Summerlin. That was like last Saturday, the day of 0 Point. And it was a store opening in downtown Summerlin for Lush Cosmetics.
Oh, I have heard of
So,
Lush. I think I've met those people too.
They brought me in there. I DJ'd for like 5 hours and just played house music.
Hey,
the whole time,
it's Thanksgiving week. I think that could be great for those people. Give them some music to listen to. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen, people. All right. So we're going to cut to another break, and we'll be back with our last guest and frightening fact here in just a minute of Surviving Sin City. Frightening fact. We've got our tech director, Justin Inabinett, on this side today. What's up, Justin?
Well, very rarely am I on this side of the camera, and it's been a long day.
Where have we been today?
Well, we've been having technical difficulties, and I'm not very big in like video production and stuff, so I decided, you know what? I need a crash course in video production. So since 3:45 this morning, I've been at the Amazon Web Services conference, so hitting the website, which I love to be a part of, and doing live broadcasting for Bloomberg News for anchor Corey Johnson. It was absolutely fantastic and fun. Long day. Got to meet the CTO of Amazon and the vice president who was in charge of putting together the web services.
They taught him so much, his brain was on overload today, and that's why the show was a little bit late to get started.
Yes, it is. We were actually late getting back from there because we had to, traffic today was horrendous. Little tip about surviving Sin City. 5 o'clock traffic.
Actually, 5 o'clock traffic in Sin City is nothing like LA, so I don't think that's a lousy excuse, Justin.
Well, that's why I actually made it eventually.
We'll cut you some slack since it is Veterans Day that we're celebrating, and you are a Marine. So, Angie, salute.
Oh, well,
Yes.
Thank you. Thank
now,
you.
Justin, tell us a little bit about your service you're a Marine.
Yes, I joined the Marine Corps back in '99. Served in Iraq back in 04-05 during the Second Battle of Fallujah. A frightening fact that affects the veteran community today is that, according to the VA, 22 veterans commit suicide a day.
And I actually wanted to make sure that that statistic was correct, so I went to several different sources and several different places, including CNN, confirm 22 veterans a day. That's one every 65 minutes that kills himself.
And the one thing I always say is that it's not a government problem. I always feel that suicide is a community problem. It's the fact that people just need to realize that they're not alone in their problems. There's a lot of different programs, and not just through the VA. There's programs like Vet to Vet, Vet for Vet. They are.
And I want to push Pets for Vets, because I think pets could really help people a lot that are suffering from coming back from that kind of environment.
Actually, the VA will technically issue you a pet if you're post-traumatic stress
Does it get to be a service animal? Do you get the badge? Do you get to take it around
it's a
with you?
service animal. You can actually
that's a
take your
VIP
service
pet.
animal to the restaurant.
Awesome.
So your little buddy, could you imagine your little buddy?
That's reason enough to join the service. Hey, I can bring my
there
dog
you
to
go.
dinner.
Great reason to go to
Especially in
VA.
Vegas, high-end table scraps.
What STK? Here I come. No.
And so, what are maybe some of the ways that you've worked through the challenges that are presented by serving our country? Like, how do you not focus on what you've seen and what you've been through and stay motivated to do something more?
Wow, that has been a challenge daily. When I first got back from Iraq, it was very rough acclimating back to civilian life. Ironically, I think life was actually easier over there. You only have one thing to worry about. That's just staying alive. Here, you gotta worry about what your hair looks like, your dress, you gotta worry about impress. All this extra stuff that's just ridiculous. You don't even need. But so life was actually easier. But at the same time, the stress of the situation, rather not cover on.
Maybe that's a reason why people commit suicide, is that if it was that much easier there, and then they come back and things are that much harder again.
Mm-hmm.
My roommate, who's a Marine, said it's like being on Groundhog Day. That you're just
people say that about Las Vegas that live here, like the
Yeah.
casino hosts. They're like, oh my gosh, it's like Groundhog Day. Every day I know this lady's gonna put $20 in that machine and keep thinking that she's gonna win.
Wait, is it surviving Groundhog Day or surviving Sin City?
Surviving the Marine Corps. Where have you been? No.
Right? Yeah, the Veteran Survival Guide coming soon to a bookstore near you.
And so we were talking about how you stay motivated and sane, and that
staying in touch with fellow Marines is actually a very big thing. That's why for a while there I was getting involved with Vet for Vet programs, Vet to Vet programs. And I was in San Diego, got involved with a wonderful organization out there called ACVAL. It's American Combat Veterans of War. It's a very great program in San Diego. What's great about these programs is that they're not a part of the VA, and a lot of veterans are kind of turned off against the VA and stuff, just in those government entities, and they just like to throw you the pills and just kind of milquetoast you out and just be like, ugh, and so it's kind of it's an interesting situation. It's a very interesting
So
situation.
if any of you out there are politicians, lawmakers, or some sort of government official, we ask you to strongly consider the choices that you make, because they affect people every day. And if 22 veterans are taking their own lives every day, then if there's something you can do to prevent that, then make the difference.
Pets for Vets. Pets for Vets.
Let's
do it. Let's
now
do
I'm
it.
gonna have you swap places with Eric, who was filling in.
All right.
And Eric can run over here and say hello.
Okay.
So we'll swap that around here real quick. And so should we do the pledge? I pledge allegiance. And they don't do the pledge anymore.
I know.
Do people even know the pledge? Do I even know the pledge?
Okay.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
For all.
Yeah.
For all.
We You did it.
All right.
Wow. When was the
Even the
last time
illegals.
you did that?
Even the
I don't
When was the last
know.
time?
I don't know. But in college, high school, something a long time ago.
Yeah.
Eric, how are you? Eric Leroy.
I'm okay.
Thank you for serving the show. he was serving in as the tech
Yeah,
director, so
exactly.
serving the Sin City Survival Show.
So what would you like to talk about?
Well, I was just going to say God bless the USA and just let you say hi and see if you've got anything to say
To
on
get
the
off my
fly.
mind real quick.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, like, your whole segment's been about charities and things, and we got charify.com coming up. We're all going to be working together on that. And
All right.
other than that, start asking me questions. Miss
All
Tiffany.
right. So you were at my birthday extravaganza soiree
Yes, I was.
bonanza, the awesomeness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
It was very fun.
Are you ready to do it again for Thanksgiving?
Yes, I am. Don't even have to
I want
ask.
to know, are you
Don't-
going to be a
don't even have to
cowboy
ask.
or an Indian?
I will be whatever you need me to be. I will be
Please,
Pocahontas
no one
if you
dress
need me
up
to be.
as military. That's not nice.
Yeah, oh, that's
But you can dress up as a turkey, a Indian, or a pilgrim. So you get your costumes ready, and if you want to be invited, please talk to Ivy. And so,
I would say Indian.
any other special messages? Angie, you got to see quite a bit of the show.
I would like to say that this is actually one of my donators, like when it's going to be coming to like
Oh yeah, we're
serving
dropping
the
clothes
homeless.
off.
He's,
Yeah.
he's one of the people who's going to be donating bags of thrift clothing for the event.
Well, I'm glad it's already
Monday.
turning around.
Yeah.
You're getting results from the
Amazing
show, and you haven't even walked off the show
Yeah.
yet. It's
Yeah.
still
It's-
here.
I'm very grateful for it. I'm very
I'd
thankful.
like to just let everybody at home that's watching, all you got to do is go to your local yard sales, pick up a bunch of clothes, go there really early in the morning, go to your yard sale, say how much for all this, take all their stuff and put it in a big pile because they don't want to go replace it, and say how much for all this, and then just give them like $100. You get all that stuff, and then you can go ahead and you can donate it to the community.
Yeah, at
doing things
7
that.
p.m.
That's
on
how we do it.
Mondays.
That's how we do it.
Great
Williams.
advice.
All right.
Yeah.
The giving survival guide.
Yeah.
How to give.
Aw.
So there you go. So we're giving back to America. So do what you can to give back to it too, and your community near you. So
Everybody have a good night.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
thank
go.
you.
yep, this is out. So we'll see you next week on Surviving Sin City. Surviving Sin City with Tiffani Neilson every Thursday, 5 to 6.